Alicia here with another lightened up, skinny, Weight Watcher friendly recipe. And today's recipe is a viewer request, and that is for chicken Alfredo. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I absolutely love Alfredo sauce. And because of that, I have made several different versions of it through the years. I have a full fat, full calorie version on my channel, and I also have a couple lightened up ones. So today's version is just gonna be kind of a variation of all the ones that I've done through the years. I'm looking forward to today's because I've never done a chicken Alfredo. So thank you, Amanda, for requesting this. And as always, I love getting requests from you guys for this type of thing. So if you have a recipe request or something you'd like to see me make, definitely leave that down in the comments. You can leave me a comment on Instagram, or you can also email me as well. But let's jump into this and I will show you what you're gonna need to make this. So to start with, I've got 2 boneless, skinless chicken breasts right here. And that's just over 1.5 pounds is what these ended up weighing. I weighed them out just to kind of get an idea because they're pretty large chicken breasts. So what I did with these was I went ahead and spritzed them with a little bit of olive oil. I then sprinkled some salt, some Italian seasoning, and some granulated garlic on top of them. And I did that on both sides. And then I put them in a Ziploc bag and put them in the fridge for about 4 hours just to marinate a little bit. Now you don't have to do that if you don't want to. I think it does help the flavor, but like I said, you don't have to. But even if you want to do just a half an hour, that is gonna help. So that's what I did with my chicken breast here. And then here I've just got what I put on that: granulated garlic, salt, Italian seasoning, and the olive oil I spritzed on. So that is my chicken. I am gonna be grilling this chicken. You don't have to grill it if you don't want to. You could also bake it, whatever you wanna do. But that is how I prepped my chicken. So for the sauce itself, you are gonna need 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Here I've got 2 cups of fat-free chicken broth. And here, 4 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. You're gonna need a cup of unsweetened almond milk and about a tablespoon of minced garlic. You're also gonna need a 1/2 cup shredded Parmesan, a little bit of nutmeg, about 1/8 of a teaspoon, and then finally some freshly cracked black pepper. You could add salt to this if you want, but between the chicken broth and the Parmesan, I think it has enough salt. When I've done these lighter Alfredo pasta sauces in the past, I have never added salt to them. But again, you can if you want. The pepper and salt would both be to taste. I'm probably gonna use around a 1/4 teaspoon of the pepper, by the way. So that is it for the sauce. For the pasta for this, I'm gonna be using this Barilla whole grain linguine. I looked for a fettuccine in whole grain and I wasn't able to find one. I don't know that I've ever seen fettuccine in whole grain, at least around here where I live. Let me know if you guys have, because I'm kind of curious. It's sort of hard for me to find the different wheat pastas or whole grain pastas here. They don't have a lot of variety. So I'm gonna go with linguine because originally I wanted to do this as fettuccine, but you could use whatever type or shape of pasta that you want, but to keep the points down, you are gonna wanna use a whole grain. And that, I do believe, is everything that you're gonna need for this. So let me jump in and get it started.
The chicken's cooked at direct medium heat. These are pretty thick, so it's gonna take, I would guess, well over 10 minutes. But I'm gonna put them on and then flip them at 5 and see how it's looking at that point. Ooh, it smells wonderful.
The grill?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, while you're doing that, I'm gonna go do the sauce and pasta. Okay. So here I got a large pan, and then over there I've got a large pot that I am gonna be heating up some water for my pasta in. But in my pan, on medium heat, I'm gonna add my 2 tablespoons of olive oil and a tablespoon of minced garlic. I'm gonna just cook that in there for a minute or 2 or until it's fragrant. And while that garlic is cooking, here I've got my cup of almond milk, and I'm gonna add in my 4 tablespoons of flour. I'm gonna just whisk that all together until it's kind of smooth. Now I'm gonna add in my chicken broth and my almond milk and flour. I'm gonna just continue to cook this on medium high until it starts to thicken up, and I'm gonna stir it occasionally, at least, just to keep it from burning or sticking to the bottom there.
So it's been about 5 minutes. There's going to be a lot of turning because the breast is so thick. That is just about perfect. If it doesn't stick real bad, or it doesn't stick at all, you know you've had it on there long enough. You've got a long way to go.
Okay. My water is boiling, so I'm going to add in my linguine, and I don't know if I said, but it's 8 ounces. And I'm going to just cook this to al dente, which the package says it's going to be about 7-8 minutes. And so once this is done, I'm going to drain it, and I am going to reserve a little bit of the pasta water just in case I need it to thin out my sauce later. This has thickened up pretty nicely. It's been about 15 minutes. I've had this on medium heat, and I've just been stirring it occasionally. So now I'm going to add some black pepper to it. And I'm going to turn my heat down to low also. And I'm going to add 1/8 of a teaspoon nutmeg and my 1/2 cup Parmesan. I'm going to just stir or whisk all this together really well. And just continue to cook this on low heat until that Parmesan melts in there and this thickens up maybe a little bit more. Here is the chicken done. So what I'm going to do is cut each one of these in half because this is going to make 4 servings total. So I'll cut these in half and have them ready to go on the pasta when it is done. I'll let this continue to cook on a low heat for about another 3 minutes. But my pasta is done, so I'm going to go ahead and add that in. Okay, that is looking good, so I'm going to go ahead and get a serving of this plated up. All right, I've got this plated up. I went ahead and weighed it out, the pasta, and it was just over 36 ounces. So I divided that by 4, 9 ounces per serving, or what ends up being just about 1 1/4 cups of the pasta. And then on top there, I put half of one of the chicken breasts that I just kind of sliced up. Now, if you wanted to chop all your chicken up and stir it in, you absolutely could. I just kind of like the way this looks, laying it on top like that. But you can do it however you want. But the total, point-wise, on this, for what I'm showing you right here, is 9 points. Which I don't think is too bad for nice pasta, comfort food pasta. All right, I'll go ahead and have my hubby give this a try. See what he thinks of it.
Oh, that chicken is cooked to perfection.
Of course, yes.
By a master.
Yeah. Smells good. I think that'd be good all by itself, honestly.
Don't want to make a huge mess here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really satisfying. The pasta's got a really nice garlic flavor. Mm-hmm. It's cheesy.
Now it's lightened. It's not.
And you know, you can tell. So this is one of those dishes because a lot of what my wife makes, I always say that if you serve it to somebody and they didn't know,
That you couldn't tell.
they couldn't tell. You can tell that this is light, but it's very pleasant.
Yeah, there's not really any way of getting around butter and cream or whole fat milk or whatever that you would typically use to make this sauce. So, you know, you do the best you can with lighter ingredients, but I still think it's good.
Yeah, it's got a, you know, like I said, it's kind of a, how much cheese is in here?
It's got a half a cup of the Parmesan.
Yeah, you can taste the Parmesan, but it's got, you know, the what I would say a traditional nutty kind of Alfredo flavor. Mm-hmm. It's not heavy, and obviously that's because the heavy stuff's missing. Mm-hmm. But the lightness is good, so you could have this and not feel as weighted down as if you'd eaten a full throttle, full fat version.
Well, and I can't even imagine what the points would be on the full.
Yeah.
And like I said, I have a recipe for full fat Alfredo sauce. It's very, very good. I'll link that down below in case you want to compare the two. We used to make homemade pasta all the time, and I would make that sauce with it. It's very, very good. But again, if you were to run the points on that, I don't even want to know what they would be. So this is a nice alternative when you're looking for a light or lower calorie, lower point sauce and pasta. You know, I think it hits the spot for pasta.
Yeah, for 9, this is, to me, this would be worth the 9 points because it's a substantial meal.
Yes, with the chicken on there and everything, you're going to be filled up with that, protein-wise and all that. Anyway, thank you again to Amanda for requesting this. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you, as always, for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.